All right, I think that Leisure Suit Larry was a wonderful Cinderella story that people wanted to automatically dismiss, but he had a big cultural impact himself. And he was a loser that tried to get laid. He was pushed forward erotic games into the
He did
mainstream.
a lot of stuff.
There's a lot
for
of
the point-and-click adventure.
He's got a pretty big brand recognition for somebody that really shouldn't. In a way, he's like Mario. He's this hero that doesn't look like a hero, but he is a little more realistic.
Is he really a hero?
But yeah, and even though he sort of sexualizes these women, like you said, Matt, the women shut him down. So it's nice. He doesn't operate in some fantasy world. This is all real, and he tries, and he still can't ever get it. That's the right joke.
You do get laid in Leisure Suit Larry 1, so my argument's out the window.
Well, I guess they jumped the shark with that one. But Samus, overall, the cultural impact. I mean, the big reveal of her gender at the end of it was a big surprise. Although when you think of how much they ripped off Alien, I don't think making the hero a female was really that big of a surprise. It was still a nice step. I think that had more to do with Nintendo just being like, we like that American movie, let's do that.
Yeah, it was a cool, fun fake out. It wasn't like forceful diversity. It was just, dude, that's sick, you know.
Yeah.
So I personally, I think is a smaller margin than you'd expect, you know, between, you know, these two completely different characters. But I think Samus just, I don't know, might have a little lead.
I think it's closer than I think. And it's really easy, I think, to look at the surface and go, well, Metroid games are better and they're more respected and people want to play them more.
Yeah,
she's basically.
Well, I'm not talking about the game. I'm not talking about the game,
right? But I think that has a lot to do with it. When I think of it, when I look at it, I go, "Oh yeah, Metroid's got to be Metroid." But then when I think about them, is Samus? But okay, it does. They don't always have to be the most interesting character.
If you strip away Samus's power, then she is just a bounty hunter without a suit.
And she's a wimpy character, isn't she?
And then Leisure Suit Larry has Leisure Suit Larry has no sort of power or persuasion. You know, Samus's ability to kick ass is the thing that makes her better than Leisure Suit Larry, in my opinion. Not a matter of her power over Leisure Suit Larry. It's just that her character is the suit, almost. You know,
right?
Like you're saying.
But is it because she's physically more powerful? Just being physically more powerful doesn't necessarily make you.
I mean, it needs to be.
I don't know. It's about what she has.
Superman, in my opinion, is a boring character. So what is the attribute that pushes her across the line?
I'm just saying, if you take away her suit or her mention of power, then you just have a chick with blonde hair who doesn't have anything. She's standing on a planet. She doesn't have her arm cannon. She can't freeze. She can't scan things for her surroundings. She can't use her intelligence in that way. So that's what I'm saying. Like her abilities are directly tied within her character because she doesn't use a bunch of dialogue. Leisure Suit Larry doesn't need a space suit to get laid. He's much more about words.
Leisure Suit Larry doesn't have any physical gifts at all. He has to purely use his mind, which I think is a great avatar for playing a game where the only way you can interact with the game is by using basically your mind and your wits about you. So I think I'm leaning towards Samus in it just for the staying power, but I think it's not as one-sided as I thought it was before. Larry's a really interesting character.
It's a completely different character.
They're very appropriate for their game universe.
Yeah.
Especially when generation of when Samus came out for the action style of game. You can't really have too much depth with her. They did explore her a little bit in comics, and she ended up having like weird bird people that raised her and stuff.
It's weird stuff. I don't
but she's a character that doesn't really need to be that interesting as well. I mean, Larry is in a game that is a narrative game. Like Matt says, he talks a lot. He needs to have a big personality. Whereas Samus is like a Master Chief. She needs to be a blank avatar. She was that way by necessity because in the NES at the time was an action game. They weren't going to be writing any dialogue or anything for. But they kept that going, and it worked as more of an immersive. I guess they figured that in Prime as well. It's first person. We're going to keep it immersive. Not going to have huge personality. She's not cracking jokes and one-liners. And it's appropriate to that environment. You want to feel cold and alone and claustrophobic. Samus is not really your friend in that way. So I think she fits that universe pretty well. But Larry's still he's so unique. And even though he's not a likable character at all,
I guess we do need to reach some sort of consensus about what qualifies, what we can use as a positive or negative. Because if we throw out the abilities that Samus has, where we were using the abilities that Big Boss has over, like his ability to eat snakes and to use camouflage. We use that as an up over Snake. So, like that is still something that's in game.
Contextually appropriate for his game world.
Yeah.
Who is contextually more appropriate for the game world?
Yes.
I'm starting to think that you could change Samus. You could make Samus the Master Chief. Same personality as the Master Chief.
But if you
Master
lose
Chief
Samus, you lose a lot of what Metroid is about. True.
You do lose, but if you replaced Larry with Wario, I don't know. Wario's actually a decent replacement, but if you replaced
Nathan Drake.
Like,
if you put Nathan Drake in Leisure Suit Larry, that game's over in 3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of that too. But I think you lose the heart. I think that you can take Leisure Suit Larry's dialogue and put it on a man named Leisure Suit Harry, who's completely different, and the game maintains its focus as a joke about, a 40-year-old virgin who can't get laid. But if you take Samus and replace it with Manmus, it changes what the whole entire franchise kind of stands for. Then it just becomes, another well-done 8-bit thing. You have the different stuff within the game, but if we're talking about the character, I think she adds more to the whole reveal. I think that's what made there be a Metroid 2. If you just make it kind of like a Master Chief character, it's whatever. That's what I think, at least. I think Leisure Suit Larry can be replaced with another character who looks similar, and I think if you replace Samus with a dude or something, it diminishes it. And I'm not just saying that just Samus being a chick is the only thing that gives her the leg up.
Yeah, what if you replace Samus with a different girl?
I mean, you could do that.
You could even replace Samus with a black transgender.
But the point is that Samus, Samus as a character, she has two things about her that make her a character and not just a block. That she is a woman and that she has the suit that can change out powers. Like that's the whole game.
I don't think a character's gender should make them a better character. I think it's what they do with that gender. I guess she does. It's a bit of a fake out, and I guess it's a little bit of a message behind it. But I don't know. I think Samus personally is more replaceable with characteristics, which is, a blank, I think Samus being a blank character, that's what I should say. You could have Samus, but you could have a Samus that talks a little bit more, has a little bit more perspective on things.
Yeah.
I think you could have a more talkative Samus.
Look, I think Leisure Suit Larry is a more interesting character. He's a more interesting character, but over 7 games or 8 games, doesn't grow at all.
No,
he's the same old joke, and I think that his gimmick runs stale. And even though he's far more interesting and deep, and he actually suits what he's doing better, and I think that if you put in a character who looked different, the game wouldn't work. I mean, you could call him Harry, but like you said, Matt, he's a his character is that he's a 40-year-old virgin who has no hope, and he's fighting against all odds.
That's his character. It's not his name. That's
Whereas Samus, it was a really fun reveal that she was a woman, and the whole message was that don't judge by the appearance. I mean, the suit made her look muscular, made her look masculine, and everybody assumed it was a man. And I think that was a big moment, and that in a way that was a bit of a gimmick as well, but it did give her the staying power, and I think it was an important part in games when at a time, I mean, there was probably far less women playing games back then, and that might have been something that tipped the scale.
I guess at the end of the day, the two sentence of this is: do you want to reward the character whose entire motivation was getting laid and did that by disrespecting women, or the most powerful female lead in video games of all time? That's, I guess, in the biggest thing for me. It's in 2018. I'm not going to professionally say that Leisure Suit Larry is a better character, because that is just not. It's not, maybe not PC to me, but like that stands for something a little bit different. Like, Leisure Suit Larry is great in the 90s and should stay there. Like, and they tried to bring him into the modern age, and with, like you said, Magna Cum Laude, and then I think they did another one on PC a little bit later, and then he wasn't effective anymore because his world was
Samus staying power winner.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just the end of it.
Do you guys think we should take the PC vote in the audience?
Yeah, I mean, it's Samus has a game coming out. Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry does not.
I mean, for a reason, yeah. Doesn't have the staying power, and as you said, he belongs back in the 90s. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna have to say Samus.
Yeah, we used brand on Mario for something, and so
and she's a brand. But they're both a brand, I guess. Oh, it's so hard.
That when you come to Nintendo
Samus.
has like 6 characters, and they like to. I don't know. If this was Captain Falcon versus Samus, I might have some different opinions, but like
that'll have to be for next time. All right, let's go. So Samus won that one. Larry, you had a great run. You made it farther than anyone ever thought you did, and that. Absolutely. In a sense, is a great example of his character.